Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Cape Time, and we are here to review the Batman, even though it is the end of March. But you know what? We're here. We're going to talk about it, and we are fucking excited because I am going to guess that everybody here loved this movie, but I have no idea for sure. But I know I loved it, and I am ready to talk about it.
I agree. This was a great movie. This was a long delayed episode, which not great, not ideal, but we managed to bring Levi in here. My friend Jason's about to be here. Technically he is in here, but technical stuff. But whatever. We are very excited to talk about this movie, and also the future of this franchise.
Yeah.
The movie was pretty good, pretty solid.
Pretty solid.
Nah.
It was not bad.
Wow, we have a lot to get into then. Here we go.
No, I love it. I do love the movie. It's a joke.
Hey, I have a fucking friend at work. I saw him like maybe a week ago, and he just saw it for the first time. I'm like, oh, dude, what do you think? He's like, I thought it was kind of bad. And I looked at him and was like, I don't think we could be friends anymore. Like, this is a problem.
That's the moment when you can't be friends with said person. You're like,
no, it's problematic. Like, Robert Pattinson is my man crush in life. It's true.
No, a lot of people, just general audience people. One sec. I've just they think this movie is too dark because you can say what you want about the MCU. I like the MCU, but
me too.
Consistently, it has the same tone, and most people go see MCU movies, so their brain has been turned into slush. They can only consume somewhat goofy.
Mm-hmm. Wait. Did we lose him on that, or?
I'm back.
Okay.
Just give me. I need 1 minute.
Gotcha. No problem.
He's alive.
But yeah, it's people are so used to somewhat goofy, can get dark at times, but it's never really that dark.
Mm-hmm.
Cape shit now because there's 4 MCU movies a year. And most people don't go see DC movies because, the effect of the theatrical cut of BVS pretty much murdered any chance DC had for, 6 years.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely valid. I look at the MCU, and personally, it's something I've always loved as well. I think it's an absolute phenomenal world built by Feige and co. But, there's always room for other tones and styles and interpretations, and that's the whole point of having all these other comic book movies from different companies and different brands. Like, the Batman is very much just its own thing in so many different ways. Like, it's nothing like the MCU, and it's nothing like even the rest of what we've gotten in DC. It's so different, and that's one of its biggest strengths, I would say. But for some people, but in the general audiences, they might consider that its biggest weakness, potentially, like you were just saying. So I understand why some people could maybe somewhat think it's slow, but at the same time, if the story is as good as this one was to me, the runtime really shouldn't matter, at least in my opinion. But yeah.
I heard Batman was in this movie.
Yeah, he was.
He's in it? Batman's in it?
Yeah.
He's only in 2 scenes, so unfortunately, we'll have to wait for the sequel.
I love how in every scene he's wearing the costume.
Yeah.
like you get 4 Bruce Wayne scenes. People are like, I don't know how I feel about Bruce Wayne. Motherfucker, he's in 4 scenes in a 3-hour movie. It's I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It's funny because it goes over some people's heads where I've heard a few people say there wasn't enough Bruce Wayne in the movie, and I'm like, I don't think you got the movie.
That's because Bruce Wayne doesn't exist.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think.
Speaking of people not getting the movie, my major criticism with people's criticism of the movie. One sec. Okay, so basically, everyone's general audience people are very much it's super, super dark. Not really, man. Maybe tonally, the way the movie is written, shot, yeah, sure, fine. But thematically, probably the most hopeful superhero movie we've gotten in years. Like,
I felt uplifted by the end. I'm gonna be honest.
like the
Like
whole
when,
movie
what?
is the most hopeful cape shit we've gotten in a while. Like Zack Snyder's Justice League and the Batman, for movies that are very much like said by general audiences to be darker movies, are like the most hopeful cape shit. It's I don't film comprehension is dead, apparently.
Yeah, it's so
Like,
ridiculous. Like Tom, go ahead. It's wild to me.
like, like when he cuts the wire, that's him letting go of being vengeful. Like that's like the whole. That's what the movie like led up to, which is why I don't really get the third act criticism. Because if you ended
No,
it at,
No.
at, at
it's so
if you
dumb.
ended if you ended it at Riddler's arrest, Batman wouldn't have really learned much.
Yeah.
Like he would still be angry Batman who just saw a bunch of people get murdered and like just because Riddler gave up, that's how he
Hmm.
caught him. But no, but like that third act, like he had to become a hero, which
Hmm.
is basically the point of this movie. Like it's the difference between being a vigilante and being a hero,
Yep.
and so now and Batman. I know a lot of people like to say Batman's this like super dark vigilante, and he is a
That's
dark
just not
character, but
true.
like he is a hero at the end of the day. You get what I'm
The
saying?
problem is,
Like
here's the problem. Tim Burton fucking hated Batman. He's just like, this guy kind of looks cool. So they made him a serial murderer who kind of gets off on killing people. Okay? And then we get Christian Bale. The other two Batmans for him obviously were goofy. But then
Yeah.
you get like Christian Bale, and I like Christian Bale as Batman.
Me too.
In,
Me
in
too.
Batman
me
Begins
too.
and The Dark Knight. And The Dark Knight Rises, he's some fucking creepy weirdo who he kills like 5 people, and he's just kind of annoying and weird and just the dumbest character in that movie. That's a pretty hard task considering how dumb the characters in The Dark Knight Rises were.
Yeah, Dark Knight Rises had a lot of flaws. I rewatched it right before the Batman came out. I rewatched the whole Dark Knight trilogy. I remember Batman Begins. I was like, yeah, this is the shit. Dark Knight. I'm like, fuck yeah, this is an all-time movie. And then I get to Dark Knight Rises. I was like, it was pretty good. Like for me, like I thought it was pretty good, but
It's
it's like it's not even close to what the other two
it's a
were.
solid film, but like
Yeah,
those first two films are like
I
all
know.
time comic book movies, and like
Yeah.
it's like, and I don't think Nolan after Ledger died, I don't think he really wanted to do Dark Knight Rises. Like
Uh-huh.
I think he kind of checked out after Dark Knight, where it's like a lot like Heath's dead, and they wanted to bring Heath back, and it's
Yeah.
like. I just think like the idea for Dark Knight Rises would have been much different if he didn't die. So,
Well,
so
100%, because Nolan just did A Tale of Two Cities, but with Batman
Hmm.
for The Dark Knight Rises, when I don't see how that would ever have been the plan if Joker was still alive in that universe and Heath Ledger was still alive
you
in
know
the
what's
line.
you know what's kind of crazy
What?
is
What's
well, at the end of Dark Knight, obviously Harvey's kind of corrupted, right? And through the Dent Act bill in Dark Knight Rises, like a lot of criminals were put away, and I think this plot for the Batman actually works really well with that, where like a version of Nolan's Riddler would come in and start exposing the Den Act and exposing what Den actually was. Like I think that could have been a better sequel, to be
Hmm.
honest.
Speaking of The Dark Knight, my biggest
Just
problem
saying.
with that movie is
Just saying.
that Batman just fucking kills him. Like,
I mean, like,
I get it, okay? I get that it's setting up Batman's got to take the fall, okay?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I still think it's dumb because knowing Batman, he's trained by the League of Assassins in this universe. Like, he is a skilled man, and he can't like grapple one dude.
If anything, that it goes like the whole thing. It goes against what you always say, Tom. Like you're very much against Batman killing in any capacity. Like I know that. Like that's why you really hated, Affleck in Snyder's interpretation. That was your biggest gripe with that.
I don't hate Affleck. I just don't like Snyder's interpretation.
No,
Like,
I mean this.
I
Yeah,
think
that's
the
what I mean. Yes.
yeah, I think the
Yeah.
characterization I don't like, but the performance I do like.
Yeah, I think he's great.
Except in
Actually, I love
the
Affleck.
except in Justice League, that was
Well,
that man
no one
that
was
man
good
was
in that movie. No one was
Cinema.
good.
that man
It's
was checked.
cinema, gentlemen.
That that man was checked out in Justice League.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder's Justice League is actually pretty great though.
I think it's a phenomenal movie, actually. But
I really appreciate
What?
the fact that in Danny Elfman for the Justice League score just aped his own themes. Like he didn't even bother trying to reuse them. He just said "fuck you" to Hans Zimmer and Junkie XL. You guys suck, and just reused his theme from the '80s, which does not work on Ben Affleck's Batman at all.
Yeah.
It's atrocious. Honestly, the worst
It's
part
like
of that.
if you look at that, it's like what the fuck.
Like that.
And ironically enough, Keaton's taken over for.
Yeah.
So I guess the theme can be used now, but I think they were a little premature with that. So, you know,
Yeah.
fucking.
But I
that
will
whole
say,
thing is-
you know, the theme for this Batman, though, holy shit, dude! The fucking score for the Batman is, I think, the best Batman score to date.
Ooh, that's.
Here's
I
my
mean,
favorite part
the
of Batman,
'80s.
okay?
Ooh, go for it.
All right, hear me out. A lot of people on Twitter like to complain about film scores being like too over reliant on the Batman theme. Batman in this movie could literally scratch his fucking balls and the theme would go ape shit. Like it would go hard. And that is what I love about the Batman because that movie is constantly using the Batman theme all the time.
Yeah. Oh, it's so great. It's so fucking great, dude. Like, as someone who loves film scores and like gets involved in that shit a lot, I think this film score was less about complexity and more about setting a tone than any of the other Batman scores to this point. And it really, really set the tone from the opening track, Can't Fight Halloween. Like, that shit was fucking incredible. I listened to that opening track all the time.
Oh, that's my favorite track. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
It's the best track in the movie.
When like the kind of like what would you say those kind of siren-y sounds are? What are those?
Wait, during which part?
Like when he goes.
Oh.
Yeah, and then the drop head criminal looks up, and it's like he gets hit by the taxi. I mean, there are some funny moments in this movie that like just don't get noticed. By the way, like the humor in the movie is like Drophead gets so scared.
It comes from character.
It's like the Drophead. He's so scared of the bat signal that he runs into the middle of the street, gets hit by a car.
Yeah.
This is just funny. Fucking
like.
By the way, Gotham in this movie.
Oh my god,
is disgusting. It's fucking nasty. Like.
I saw some critics complain
the
about
other
that.
Gothams, I would want to live in Tim Burton's Gotham, I think, because it looks cool.
Yeah.
Gotham is just Chicago in the Nolan movies. I can live in Chicago. Chicago's cool, man. And then you have this disgusting, grimy fuckhole that is Gotham City in the Batman. It's gross. Like I don't even want to be within 100 miles of Gotham City.
Yeah.
It looks like someone would like when Bruce Wayne's like walking in like the Gotham Times Square kind of area at the beginning of the movie. It kind of looks like at any moment you could get stabbed. Like it's got that feeling to it. Like at any moment, some random asshole in Gotham could just like shank you while you're walking.
Or some big dude in a bat costume could beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
And that seems to be a concern by some of the criminals in the movie.
And Gotham's regular citizens. They're just
the citizens don't know what the hell to think of him. Like Batman goes and saves the dude at the train station, and he's like, "Are you gonna beat me up too?
Don't murder me, please."
Like, they don't, please don't hurt me. like just saw what you did to that guy.
Maybe it's a bold take, but I think the opening, like 5-10 minutes of that movie, might be my favorite opening 5 to 10 minutes of any comic book film almost ever.
Oh,
really?
I'm a sucker for narration.
When it's done that well, I mean, dude, like it's the most quotable thing. Like I think I have like 90% of that monologue just memorized at this point, and I'll just fucking like repeat it at random times. And I'm with my friends. Like we'll just be outside, and I'll be like, "When that light hits the sky, it's not a call, it's a
It's
warning."
a warning.
Like
It's
it's so fucking good.
Listen,
And
I
you
know
can
I'm not supposed to
understand what
enjoy.
Batman says.
Oh
Yeah,
my
for
God.
sure. I know you're not supposed to
Great voice.
like that Batman is just massacring the shit out of random dudes on the street. It's also just cool as fuck to see
Yeah,
him walk up.
exactly.
It's just cool as fuck, dude. Like he's just walking up to people in the middle of subway stations and beating the fuck out of them. Like he's just some fucking weirdo.
What's up? Here, I'll add you right now. Oh, sorry about that.
So it's so epic, dude.
I'm-
He's just like, I'm gonna scare these random dudes, and like not like the bank robbers, not like not
I'm
like
adding you now.
just some dudes that walked up and punched one fucking guy.
I
Batman
know.
mauls the shit out of them.
Yeah, dude, this Batman has so many fucking problems. It's actually like
Bro.
just seeing his development from beginning, and if anything, the impact of how fucked up he is in the beginning just makes the development from beginning to end that much more impactful when you see it play out.
You can see how satisfying it is for him to fucking maul those guys. He's having a good ass time, bro. He's not like this is a bad thing. He's like, damn, that was fucking sick. Let's watch that in the camera. I got my GoPro recording.
Oh shit, man.
Yeah. Oh, I got Jason in here. Jason, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Oh, thank you.
Bro.
Basically, well, yeah, that took a while, but yeah, I'm gonna pump up my volume a little bit so you can hear him while I'm texting. We're in the phone calls through my phone, through this microphone. It's an impressive setup. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very proud of myself for thinking of this. So really, the only thing that I ask of you, Jason, is to talk loud and tell us what you think of #the Batman.
Oh, I loved it.
Thank
It
you.
was amazing.
Would you say
Imagine
it
he
is
just said it sucks.
And, it's my favorite Batman movie.
It is his favorite Batman.
It's maybe my favorite superhero movie. Honestly,
Wow.
it is a beam of light in what has been a very dark era for DC. It has been getting better over the past few years, but this was leagues and bounds above
At
what
least
they've been doing.
one studio can correctly adapt their angry vigilante character. Moon Knight.
Well, I will say I haven't seen Moon Knight yet, so I'm gonna reserve judgment. But
Nah, bro. What I've been told about Mr. Knight, I'm not watching it. I'm skipping it. I refuse. I almost got like violently ill after I got fucking told.
I don't want to know.
I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
Fucking, but no, I'm not tuning in. You'll not catch me on day one for Moon Knight.
You'll catch me on day 2.
Maybe day 3. They might have me on day 3.
Day 3.
Day 3. See, I say this, but I go to every Marvel movie opening night, so I'm gonna be watching it opening night at 3 a.m.
Well,
Yeah.
you see, for me, I gotta see what they do, but I'm open to changing certain things. Like they did that with a lot of their previous works. As long as it makes sense, I can work with it. I just gotta see. Because from what I've heard, at least, the tone is what I pretty much want it to be, and the trippy aspects of it sound like where I want it to be. I've heard that Oscar Isaac and Ethan Hawke are great, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna really like most of the show. The Mr. Knight stuff I'll see, but I've heard from a couple people that I trust that it's some people that like love the comics are gonna hate it, but for people that don't necessarily read all the comics, they're gonna think it works. So
they're gonna hate it? I'm fucked. I'm so fucked. I collect Moon Knight.
God. Well, mainly, I don't mean like the whole show. I mean more of the Mr. Knight stuff.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. The Mr. Knight stuff I heard in particular, like diehard fans might not be into the change, but like regular Marvel fans that aren't necessarily like deep in the source material, they will be much more inclined to actually like what they're doing with the character because they don't really have any preconceived notions of, oh, Moon Knight has to be X, Y, or Z, you know?
All right. So,
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
just
that-
had
that
a
was-
nice little Moon Knight
Yeah.
discussion.
Moon Knight
Okay, back
expert.
on Batman. Okay. I mean, we
But
Talking
wait,
about all the
I,
street level.
I was told Batman is basically DC's Moon Knight, or is it
Yeah,
the other way
facts.
around? Moon
Facts.
Knight is Moon Knight is Batman. Yeah.
Bale.
Yeah, that was Grace Randolph. Wasn't that
There you go.
Grace Randolph?
I mean,
Yeah,
both
she
of them
said-
violently assault people in major cities.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a big deal, and they're both pretty fucked up mentally. They definitely have
Oh.
some deep mental problems.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Are you insinuating that Batman has mental issues?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
He
Now
wears
you're
a
gonna
bat.
tell me that he's got what does he have, like trauma now too?
All right, I have a fun question from this movie. Aside from the opening, which is my favorite part of the movie, what is your favorite scene?
That's like the worst
Ooh.
Spanish I ever heard.
Wait, which one?
When the whole like interrogation with Penguin, where Penguin just like
yeah.
fucking around, like they're super serious, and Penguin's like, "I do not give a flying fuck, guys."
It's so good. It's so good.
What is this, Riddler stupid or something?
You know what? I'm gonna
Um,
let Jason go first because I need to figure out my favorite scene besides
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Because like now I'm going through all my head. So Jason, what would you say is your favorite scene in hashtag the Batman?
Oof, it's hard. I mean, the opening, the entire opening is pretty incredible.
Besides the opening, Jason.
Yeah, aside from the
You
opening.
can't say the opening. We all said the opening.
Does not count.
Opening does not count. Okay. I feel like it's a boring answer, but I mean, the chase scene between Penguin
No,
and Batman
that's fair. That's fair.
ever.
Mhm.
It was so amazing.
No, no truck drivers were harmed in the making of said chasing. So,
It was even better than my favorite car chase for a long time has been the one to live and die in LA. This has always been my favorite, and this is even better than that. So
Mhm.
yeah,
I like how rainy it was during that scene. Like they kind of used the rain as like kind of like it gave it a little more personality than your typical highway action scene.
Mhm.
I don't know any recent superhero movies that have any highway action scenes.
All right, here we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, yeah.
Gotcha. 21 and 2022 both had like some of the best car chases in film history. Like not just the Batman. Okay, the Batman, great. But then the No Time to Die car chase.
Oh
at the
my
beginning of the
god,
movie.
yeah. Yeah, that's a good
Oh
call.
shit! Oh shit! I kind of forgot about that. That's a great movie.
Yeah.
Great movie. I love
I
it.
saw it 15 times.
Jesus Christ.
There's a guy who's seen
Rest
No Way
in
Home
peace.
200 times. So don't judge me, bitch.
I always saw No Way
There's-
Home, I think,
There's a dude
three
that saw
times,
like
three
Captain
times,
Marvel
yeah.
like 74 times, right? There's this one dude
Yeah.
he saw like Captain Marvel.
I don't
Like-
know how the fuck
Yeah.
someone saw that movie 74 times.
I'd kill myself
Captain
after the
Marvel.
fifth.
Yo, for real.
I've seen it only one time, and like it's fine, but it's like I
It's
would
so
never, like-
boring though.
it's not-
There's no personality to the whole movie
back,
or the character.
That's it. I'm not going back. Like
Yeah.
I'm not
It's
watching
almost
it
like
again.
when you hire
And-
two directors, you don't get a distinct creative vision in a franchise that already does not have distinct creative visions. Congrats, Marvel Studios.
Yeah, they
hired the
definitely
Daredevil.
they fucked up there. But I'll say the one thing before I get back to the Batman, I'll just say it while we're on it. With Marvel, I will say I do like in Phase 4 so far, for me at least. I'm getting a lot of director-based stuff across a lot of their projects right now. At least I think they are. Whether it's like WandaVision feels so different and unique to the director. I mean, Guardians is going to be very much like that. Of course, Shang-Chi is very personal. I mean, Eternals is such a Chloe Zhao project, regardless of what you think of it. Like,
Yeah.
it's very director-based right now, and I'm happy they're moving more in that direction.
I'd
as
say
of
it's
late.
more director based, but you can still feel the Kevin Feige
Oh, yeah.
reshoots. Like
No, totally, and that's just part of like what you get when you have a branch of a movie studio being run by someone. And I will say it has its benefits and it has its issues, because you go to DC and you say, oh, well, the fact that they didn't have someone competent in control is why they were so fucked up for so long. So,
Granted, here's my thing. Okay, this is a controversial, very controversial statement.
Yeah.
Okay, my thing with bad DC movies is there's a clear directorial vision behind them. And that makes it instantly better than any bad MCU movie to me, because like Ant-Man and the fucking Wasp is genuinely, and I'm not trying to be like a dick, is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. I cannot remember a single fucking scene from that movie besides when he got small in the school and fucking
that was funny.
The fact that there's a van. The whole movie is designed to set up a van in the next Avengers movie.
I was gonna say that's the problem. It's literally just a filler movie. Like, that's how I felt about Black Widow, honestly. Even though I will say I like Black Widow more than I do Ant-Man and the Wasp, but I think that, and Black Widow, I think, had at least a little more heart to it. But in the case of Ant-Man and the Wasp, I mean, there really isn't. It's very much a bland movie that they just put in there because it's like, hey, I think we need another film in between Infinity War and Endgame, and they kind of just threw it in there. But
they just kind of told Paul Rudd to fuck around for 2 hours to see what worked.
Yeah. But like, the point that Levi just made is like, with DC, because of their ability to just hand a director a franchise like they just did. Like, they just gave Matt Reeves the Batman franchise. They're like, all right, go for it. Like, the ceiling is much higher. It's like a baseball player with like a limited ceiling versus like this player who has unlimited potential, but more potential to bust as well.
Yeah.
Like, you get what I'm saying?
No, I get it. Yeah.
But also with DC, DC will say that they're giving someone creative vision, and then like 2 weeks before it comes out, they're like, no, I don't like this. Fuck you. It's so stupid.
That's the problem.
Because at least with Marvel, they know they're not getting full creative control over the movie. They just know that. And then DC's like, okay, so you're gonna get control over Birds of Prey, right? Yeah. And then like you're done directing the movie, and then they come back and they just fuck you in the ass repeatedly, cut everything and reshoot.
Yeah.
It is so awful. Like, Suicide Squad as a movie exists because the studio's like, yeah, you know what? Fuck you, David Ayer. We're giving this to a trailer company to edit.
Yeah, they made a trailer house edit the movie.
Yeah, I know. Like, I think about it too. Like in the case of Marvel too. Like, I think that with them, the system is very much. Especially now, the directors have a lot of freedom, but they have to include in certain story elements and beats to continue parts of the overarching narrative and universe. But within that, though, I think the directors can play with whatever they want to play with. They just have to follow certain rules, basically. While with DC, especially now, the
DCEU being a fucking disaster.
Exactly. I mean, we're gonna see where it goes after the Flash is really, for me, the make or break movie in DC. I think, like, if that. I'm gonna hope it works out. I'm gonna try to be optimistic, but we'll see. We will see.
I'm excited for like everything before the Flash and like everything after the Flash, but not actually the Flash.
Which if it sucks because that's their big movie. That's their big movie.
Wait, Batgirl comes out this year, right?
No, it got fucking pushed back a fucking year probably because the Flash got pushed back.
Thanks, Flash, you dick.
It has to come out. It has to come out after Flash because Flash is gonna introduce Keaton back.
So it's
that's bullshit because Falcon and Winter Soldier came out after Black Widow. Oh wait, no, the Elena scene got cut. Never mind.
Yeah.
I forgot because I haven't watched that show in a while because it was fucking mid. No, it's actually, I lied. I'm capping right now. I'm hating. That show was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I actually enjoy that show.
I was hating.
It's a little
Loki is my favorite.
Loki is my favorite.
I mean, of the Disney Plus. Yeah.
Loki's my favorite.
I think like those are pretty good. I think like they do have to figure out certain issues that they've run into. Like, obviously, there's always going to be a pacing issue when it comes to these shows. But also, like, I don't think it's a smart
Marvel
idea
Studios
to continue
doesn't know the definition of a television show. They just make long movies and then they just cut them up.
Yeah, I think the issue is like they keep revealing the villain at like in like the 5th episode, and it's like
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
probably
Like, it's dumb.
like
Hawkeye every week had a different reveal of someone being in it.
Uh-huh.
It was so insufferable because episode 2 at the end it was Echo. Then episode 3, I don't remember. Episode 4, Yelena. Episode 5,
Yeah.
Kingpin. Like, this is not how you keep me watching. Just make a fucking good TV show.
The only time it worked for me was in Loki, but in the case of Loki, it was much more of a organizational mystery, like who, like almost like a Wizard of Oz, but who's pulling the strings kind of thing. Like it's like that. It still works. It's less of what they've been
No.
doing in like Hawkeye.
Well, yeah,
for
because
example.
Hawkeye, like, he would like say like once a week, like, "Oh, the big guy.
Yeah, the big guy.
He's
Yeah.
big. He's big. You don't fuck with the big guy." Like, I don't who. What?
no, the big guys, and you could have spent that time, that filler time with the other characters, introduce Kingpin, and use that time to really flesh out Kingpin to the new audience that hasn't necessarily seen Daredevil yet.
I
And you
I
could have done-
genuinely like. I think if you gave them even one more episode and you actually like used it to flesh out parts of the Kingpin narrative instead of just jumping right into it, I really think the show could have been so much better. I really do.
I like how he gets introduced and then immediately gets fucking massacred by Kate Bishop. That was cool. That was awesome.
God. I am looking forward to
this.
him being an Echo with the Daredevil writers. I will say.
Yeah, but the Daredevil writers are being helmed by Kevin Feige and not,
Well,
different
yes,
directors.
but again, I really do have faith in them right now. I feel like they're giving their people more freedom, so I'm gonna hope it works out. I really have a feeling, but we'll see. Maybe they'll shit in my mouth. I don't fucking know.
It's gonna be
if they
shit kernel
fuck
too.
Daredevil. Yeah, okay, so story time. I work with Jason. Okay, if they fuck with Daredevil, Jason may have to like save my life. He may have to hold me back from killing someone or killing myself.
Well,
Yep. Thank you, Jason. Right? Am I wrong? We just had
No.
tell them about the joke I made about the rabbit in the snowstorm.
oh yeah, he held up a piece
Oh
of
my
paper.
I just
I-
because we were counting popcorn. We had to count the popcorn bags while Ted was doing
Yes.
that. Yeah, and so there's just this white piece of paper on top of all the bags, and I point to Jason because I knew he would understand. I go, hey, look, it's a rabbit in a snowstorm.
Oh, hear me out. My friend Chris and I were in Florida. Okay, we were in the Key West, and there's like a bunch of different art shops, right? So we had this running gag where you would just walk around to the fucking curator and ask them if they had rabbit in a snowstorm in the fucking art house. and they were,
No.
it was the dumbest fucking look. Like we had brain damage, and it was so funny. Like it was not funny to anyone else but us. We were like losing our minds.
That's pretty good. That's good.
God.
All right.
So
All right,
Batman.
Batman.
We should get back to Batman.
Cool.
but basically, okay. So I do have a scene now that
Yeah, I have to
like
get mine
you
too. Yeah, go.
After all that time, you
My
still have it?
Yeah.
Oh no, I have it now. We're good.
Oh.
My favorite scene is the ending monologue where Batman is carrying the
You dick,
the
you took
civilian,
mine. I have to
but-
repick.
No,
Yeah.
you don't.
like it has to be. It's got a great song, obviously, and like it's just like that's the Batman I've been waiting for a long time. Where it's like this dude, that's fucking Batman. It's like I'm looking at the screen like that's fucking Batman. It's like the Ewan McGregor when he goes, "That's fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi" in the interview. And I go, that was my reaction. I'm like, that's fucking Batman. It's like that's the Batman I've been waiting for. Oh man, too good. And Pattinson's performance, like, it's my favorite out of all the Batman actors. So like, this is so dope, man. Like that's the scene for me. Great. It's shot great too. By the way, it looks. Great.
Oh, yeah, dude, the lighting is fucking beautiful. I mean, the way they filmed all of that was great. The monologue was beautiful.
Batman
I mean,
in the daytime.
I mean,
Oh.
dude, just the woman like holding on to Batman and she won't let go as he's trying to walk away. Like it's so powerful. It's a beautiful scene.
Far departure from earlier in the movie when the man was begging him not to
Mhm.
beat him up too.
Yeah,
after
yeah.
he just saved him.
Don't
Oh, it's
murder
great.
me, Batman.
So if you want to know why the third act was necessary,
Yeah, like that's
There you
the
go.
dumbest criticism I think of the movie, honestly. Without the third act, the movie literally doesn't work. It doesn't
there's
fucking
just
work.
such a clear lack of literacy when it comes to this movie, where it's like,
Yeah.
you guys really, like, there are a lot of people that really just didn't get
Get it. No.
My
movie.
friend
And
gave Joker
not-
a 5 stars, and then he's like, "Oh, Batman's 3 stars. The third act sucks." I was like,
Oh my-
"I'm gonna fucking kill you."
Yeah.
By the way, the third act's got a pretty cool action scene. It's got Pattinson making the funniest face I've ever seen in my life when he injects himself with the
No.
adrenaline shot.
It's so
And
funny,
it's
bro.
like, it's
He's
like,
literally
and
snarls.
like,
He snarls like a wild animal.
like
Mhm.
I love that though. Like that work, like because like if you're gonna inject yourself after just taking a shotgun shot to the chest, you're not gonna be making pretty faces. Okay,
Yeah, it's also like,
you're gonna
he was about to pass out, like he from just pure
like
pain.
his face was like.
So,
That's too
it's so good.
His face was like, "Did you eat my fucking
I-
pizza rolls?"
bro, oh my god, that is too good. And like everything with Catwoman work too, that I was just like,
Oh,
and
yeah.
and like
She's phenomenal.
and like
Zoe
she's
Kravitz
like on
does such
him.
a good job.
He's like hanging over him while he's just like passing out from taking the shotgun shot. It's like, and gives him and Batman manages to like pucker up a little bit because like
And he
he ain't
gets
gonna let that
bonked.
opportunity. He's not missing that opportunity.
That scene made me laugh. It shouldn't have, but like when like she like sits up a little and then she just gets fucking destroyed. Like,
oh my god.
it's so out of nowhere. She just gets fucking smashed in the face by the butt of a gun.
Batman's like, the work's not done.
Bro.
Yo, he beats the absolute
I know.
shit.
I say he mauls the guy in the beginning, but he fucking his nose was spread across his entire face.
God. It's so good, man. I saw complaints about the action from a few people in this. I was like, what the fuck? Like, how?
Compared to Nolan, the Nolan hand-to-hand combat, it was either
It's
slow
so
or
ass.
you couldn't.
It's so bad.
But like in this, like you see in the iceberg lounge scene where Batman punches the two guards, he walks in, starts being that's so well choreographed, and you can see every hit, and like you feel every hit. Like the sound design mixed with the choreography, mixed with the music, mixed with the cinematography is just like, it's like it's literally like watching a comic book come to life, and it's like this had my favorite Batman action besides like I do like the Batman action in Batman versus Superman up to the point where you know murders happen.
Oh, that actually they did a great job with the action in that movie for sure. I'll give them credit for that. But
that warehouse like great choreo. It really did remind me of something out of the Arkham games. It's just that could have not killed people, but we don't need to get into that.
Somebody needs to take him to take it easy, sweetheart.
I mean, I guess I'll pick my scene. I'll pick a different one. I'm gonna go with the scene between Alfred and Bruce. I think that's a really, really great scene. I mean,
I love that scene, but it's also really funny.
Like
Alfred wakes up after getting fucking bombed, and then Bruce sitting there. Alfred's like, "Oh, hey." And Bruce is like, "Fuck you, old man.
Fuck you, old man.
My life. He ruined my life."
I will say that part of it's funny.
I don't want to fucking hear it right now. I don't care that you almost got blown up in my name.
I don't want to hear your bullshit, you British fuck.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that whole scene though, it really does humanize him so well, and I think that's a scene the movie really needed. You know, there were a few complaints about there not being enough Alfred in the movie specifically, but honestly though, I got enough, especially with that scene. That scene really cemented, like, I get their relationship
in the next
so
movie.
well.
In the next movie, I need that Arkham Origins, Arkham City style where like he's in his cowl, when like Alfred's like in his cowl and you can hear like their conversations while Batman's like investigating what's happening. It's like that's like where I want them to go next. And like
Me too.
by the
That's
way,
thing
speaking
that I
of
have
the
with a
arc,
complaint. Sorry,
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
audio's a little messed up, so I
Yep.
keep thinking you guys are done.
Oh,
So like,
yeah, yep, we can hear you. You're good.
so here's the thing with the complaint that there's not too much there's too little Alfred. I'd argue that makes perfect sense considering this Bruce does not want to let Alfred in. At the beginning of the movie, he literally tells Alfred, "You're not my father," even though like that's fucking cap, bro. He's the only guy that's
And
been
also,
with you since your parents got murdered.
Mm-hmm.
and
Like,
also, he literally says in the hospital scene, I never wanted to feel that fear again of losing someone that I care about."
so he just tries not to
It's
care.
not like. So basically, he just shut himself off, didn't want to let anyone in, including Alfred. And it's like, he still almost lost him, you know? And he still felt. And you know what I love is before that hospital scene when Batman's driving back in the Batmobile and calls calls Alfred, and like he doesn't pick up, and he's talking in his regular Bruce voice, while in the cowl, because like obviously, and it's just I don't think I've ever heard Bruce Wayne come out of the Batman costume before, and like I think that was a really nice touch. It would be very weird if he called in his Batman voice.
That's why I really enjoy this
Nice.
scene, and I wish we got less of the like. I like the Arkham scene, but I don't like that Pattinson starts growling at the end. I would have preferred if he sounded more like he did in the scene with Gil Colson when he's asking him how much he would take for bribes. Like he just gets louder instead of like, "You're gonna die alone here in Arkham."
Mm-hmm.
I kind of love that.
For me, it worked, but
I know, no, well, I'm not saying it didn't work, but I think I would have.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's just a preference. Yeah. I kind of love that because like Riddler really did not understand Bruce much. Well, but he also did at the same time. It's
I
like,
mean, they're both
like,
children. They're both children. That's the whole point. They're
they're
literally
both like,
children.
yeah. It's like Riddler really thought Batman was okay with that and would like want to join him. And like that's just how
murder.
That he's like what? And you know what's funny is like Riddler thought that he had Batman thought that Riddler figured out who he was, and then Riddler goes, Bruce Wayne, he was the guy we didn't get because he thought Batman and Riddler were a team. And so like you see in Pattinson's body language that he gets more confident because of that. Like he's like, oh shit, he doesn't know. Okay, I'm gonna stand, because like he in the beginning of the scene he was trying to like avoid making eye contact. He was like, it was the ultimate oh shit, I'm fucked kind of moment. And then like Riddler says, Bruce Wayne, he was the one we didn't get, and it's like, and then you see him snap back into Batman form, and like that's just so cool. Like
I just think it's funny.
Like, I can't wait.
Sorry.
Come on. And Paul Dano singing Ave Maria, just like you just realize like, oh shit, this guy, he does not have his screws on. His screws are loose, and like I this is a man that would leave trophies all around Gotham City for you to collect and waste hours of your life only to get to that final boss mission and defeat the Riddler, as I did multiple times in Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. That took a while.
And Arkham Knight.
That took a while.
God.
And Arkham. I still haven't beaten Arkham Knight. It's taken me a while. It's okay. The Riddler has caused me a lot of stress. Okay, and Paul Dano's Riddler seems to be one that would cause me a lot of stress. And you know, but Paul Dano was great. And you know what I love is when the bombs go off at the end, and you cut back to Riddler, and he's like with the sound muted, he's yelling "boom."
Yeah,
and he's just enjoying the shit out of himself. It's like that's so comic booky to me. Like, and like Paul Dano sells the shit out of that.
Yeah, no, he's so good, man. I mean, him as a villain was such a great choice by Reeves in the end. Thank God it wasn't fucking Jonah Hill.
Facts.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Crazy.
What's ironic about the Riddler is he's like, oh, you're really not as smart as I thought you were. and he can't figure out that the guy like 2 feet away from him is the fucking Prince of Gotham, fucking Bruce Wayne, the guy
That's the
who's hated
irony.
his entire life. He's like,
I knew exactly what you were gonna say right there.
yeah.
Yep.
He's like, yes, this man is clearly fucking dumb. And then he's
I'm
like,
so much smarter than you, but I cannot clearly figure out.
I want
what's
you
right
to
in
help
front
me
of
kill
me.
Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne.
Hey, can you like, hey Bruce, can you like kill yourself really quick?
You want to help me out, man?
It's like,
Imagine
you
that
wanna
was
help
his
me out?
take.
You
Like,
wanna-
he's like, come here and kill yourself.
hey buddy, you wanna like get that Bruce Wayne guy for me? Be nice, right?
just
But,
curious.
no. And that,
what did you
and it,
You know
keep
Bruce
going.
Wayne?
yeah.
Have you ever been in the same room as Bruce Wayne? He's like constantly, all the time, actually.
Wait, Tom, what are you gonna say?
You know,
It's like,
some say I've never been in a room without him.
Sure.
I've actually never been in a room where there was not Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne has always been a part of my life.
What if like Riddler
For
just
some
took that as like Batman being a massive stalker instead of actually figuring it out?
Yeah. But how would he be in the same
I-
room is the thing. That's not believable.
Bro, come on. that scene is just golden. I love how it's been like memed a little bit. Like
The
this movie's
one
got some
clip is
serious,
funny. It's funny.
this movie's got some serious. This movie's got some serious meme potential in the same vein as like the Raimi movies, where like they're like Pattinson's face when he injects himself. Like I could see that becoming a meme. Like when she gives the good head, and you post the picture of his face when he injects himself with the adrenaline or some shit. I went a little too far with that joke. I apologize, but like and the Ave Maria stuff, like it's already become a meme. But like I think like there are scenes throughout where it's like. This could find its way onto Twitter, especially when like the 4K comes out, and like we've got the high def gifs of all of this shit.
I mean, hey, it's gonna be on HBO Max probably middle of next month, so yeah, not too far off.
Oh man, I forgot. That's so funny, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to do like a rewatch.
Oh, definitely.
I can't wait.
All right, hear me out, gentlemen.
Yeah.
The best part about this movie is that it is a classic noir movie in the sense that the lead detective is the fucking worst detective on the planet. Batman, he is the world's greatest detective, but also completely flubs everything he tries to fucking do. Like, the only reason that he's able to figure out Riddler's plan is because some random cop knew a guy. His uncle was a carpet splitter.
It makes so much sense that he would not know what that specific instrument was because he's lived a life of wealth,
and he hasn't left his house.
Like he's never, and it makes so much sense for Riddler to use that weapon because it's tucked underneath the carpet, like the secrets of Gotham. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like it's a bit of a metaphor for sweeping things under the rug. So. Like Thomas Wayne getting involved with the wrong folk. By the way, go read Long Halloween if you haven't already. Heavy Long Halloween influence in the middle of this movie, like specifically the middle.
I feel like
with all the Catwoman stuff.
Different movies have taken.
Yeah, Dark Knight had
Two-Face
that.
becoming fucking
and
Two-Face.
Darwin Code. Yep. I agree, and like fucking.
Sorry,
I love that.
Sorry,
that's all good. No worries, man. Yeah, like Jason's a big comic book collector as well, and so I would like to hear Jason's thoughts on said comic influences because we talked a little about Long Halloween at work. So, Jason, what did you think, sir? Hello. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, thanks. My mic is being awful. I'm so sorry. Anyway, I feel like this film not only took things from the comics, but really replicated the tone of the comics very well. Just like the little, like it would have been really easy to make all the dialogue quippy and stuff like that, but they didn't. They made it so, like, things are, like, funny when you think about them. Like, the thumb drive thing is, like, probably the closest it got to, like, an outright joke, but I don't know. I feel like tonally it mixed the grimmer aspects with, like, the lighter side, just like how, like Scott Snyder would, kind of, in, like, the Court of Owls stuff, where he would be like, where he kind of knows this is goofy, but he's treating it really seriously, and
Yeah.
yeah. And Long Halloween does the same thing. Jeff Loeb does the same thing in a lot of his comics, actually. So, in, like, the animated series, even, that's not one of the comics, but, like, the tone replicated those really well. I mean, the year one influence in the monologues and all that were very clear, or in the narration, I should say. I feel like this Gotham City actually felt like Gotham in the way that the comics did, where it's like, it reminds you of a city, but it's not a city that you've been to.
It's not. It's not a place you can go the same way that, like,
I mean, you wouldn't want
Nolan.
to go.
I feel like I can go to Chicago. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly, yeah.
You have a good time in
It's not like
No,
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Yeah,
Detroit.
Pittsburgh.
Though I will say BVS using Detroit is a fucking fantastic decision, because Detroit is basically real life Gotham.
Yeah. Sure.
But
That is not off.
It's interesting how two different movies adapted accurately adapted the same book in two wildly different ways. Like, The Dark Knight adapted the thematic resonance of The Long Halloween, with Dent becoming Two-Face, and you're losing that sense of innocence. And then you have the Batman, which adapts the structure and the tone more so of The Long Halloween, like a long form detective drama. But both of them adapt the book accurately in what they're adapting from it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's hard to really dispute any of what either have done. And, I think the big thing, like Jason was saying with the tones, is that this is a very hyper realistic Batman movie, but at the same time, it's very different from Nolan's, where Nolan didn't necessarily embrace as much of the comic bookiness, which isn't a problem. It's just more of his stylistic choice. And then you look at Matt Reeves, and he's maintaining that level of hyper realism while still bringing in all these comic elements and griminess from, like, the Gotham you see in the comics. And it's like, it's my favorite kind of blend, I think, between realism and fantastical. And I think if he can even take it a step further with the next movie, I would really, really love it.
All right, I want to argue with you here, because I heard something I disagreed with heavily here. Okay, so when you say Christopher Nolan maybe takes less from the comics visually, and I understand where that comes from. I mean, the last two movies very much so aren't comic booky. But then you have a film like Batman
Begins.
Oh, yeah. No, that one is very comic book.
Here's the thing. Batman Begins is, in my opinion, still more comic booky than the Batman, to me, in a lot of ways. I'm not saying
in some ways
overall. Yeah. But
it's got, like, Scarecrow's the
Dark Knight trilogy is three different movies. I mean, obviously, no shit, dude. But Batman Begins is his comic book movie. The Dark Knight is a crime drama featuring Batman. That's objectively what it is. And then the last movie is a fucking war movie.
Yeah.
So I feel like Nolan more so just wanted to make different genre pieces with the Dark Knight movie. So I feel like the blanket statement that he didn't want to is a little disingenuous.
No, I agree. No, I do agree. In Batman Begins, especially, it was very much a different take. And I think that I always said that's the best interpretation of Gotham we've had prior to, I think, the Batman. Because in that movie, you actually really did feel Gotham, I think, being a lot grimier and being a different kind of place. Like, it didn't just feel like, Chicago. Like, it was a very different feel to the Gotham.
Because of the Narrows.
It's just funny because at the end of the movie, they're like, the Narrows are destroyed. We'll never give them back. Like, all of the fucking poor people in Gotham fucking died. Dude.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
There is nothing hopeful about the end of that movie if you actually look into the context. Like, a fucking million people just died and everyone's cool with it.
Listen, sometimes a super secret militia will come into a city, burn it down. It's nothing. It's nothing bad. It's okay. It's okay. We still gotta fight a clown in the movie.
Gordon says, "Oh
DA
yes,
will-
the Narrows are lost with zero gravitas concern." He's just like, "Yeah, they're gone, man."
Yeah.
He's like
kinda...
slightly aggravated by it, and then he's
well,
like, "Oh yeah,
if they're not, for the people that live, they're just homeless now.
They're dead, dude. They're dead. Nobody survived that shit.
But a quick fix to that would be like Bruce Wayne buys like a giant ass hotel for like a few $1 billion and like relocates everyone there. Nice guy, Bruce Wayne. He wouldn't do that though.
No, because in the Dark Knight trilogy, he's just a fucking dick. Like, oh, what? I can't use this fucking pool? Well, I'm buying your hotel, bitch.
I'm buying.
There is nothing respectable. Obviously, he's playing up a character. He's playing up a character. But he is such a dick for no reason. Like, he completely fucks over Harvey and Rachel's date because by just taking the entire Russian ballet, all of them, didn't leave a single person behind into the middle of the ocean with Alfred just to make Alfred fucking lotion them up.
I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty funny though. That was pretty funny.
80-year-old British man.
Nothing gets in the way of the mission.
No.
So because he want to know everything they could about like basically everything that he does as Bruce is really to get more information when he dresses up as Batman. So like it's very much, I mean, like I don't want to go as to say like Batman's the real person and Bruce is the mask, because I feel like that's not entirely true. Batman and Bruce are the same entity in a way. Well, not in a way. They are.
Talking about Batman, The Dark Knight, right? The Dark Knight. Which one are we talking about?
Just in general.
Just in general.
I think just in general. I don't really subscribe to the theory that there are two distinct people that live within Bruce. I'd like to think that Batman was created through Bruce. Like Bruce created Batman, but Bruce is Batman. It's like
the idea that Batman basically is a separate entity makes no sense, because all of the humanity and passion and compassion comes from, fucking Bruce. If there was no Bruce, Batman would just be a relentless serial murderer.
Yeah.
Bruce's ideals create who Batman is in a way. Like Bruce hates guns because Bruce saw his parents murdered. You get what I'm saying? So like, it wouldn't make sense if like Bruce Wayne is not dead. Like Bruce Wayne, like yes, a part of him died that night, but like there's something that there's something that
died that night. He's not dead. That's stupid.
Yeah, like it's yeah, I don't need to get too far into that, but like, and you know what I love about this movie, going back on the Batman, is this movie really nailed the fact that this is a Bruce Wayne that tried to kill off Bruce Wayne but couldn't. Mm-hmm. Like, you can't, like, as much as Bruce wanted to shut himself off from everyone, he only made friends. Like, he made friends in this movie. He got back together with Alfred.
Because he has anchors to humanity. He has Selina. He has Jim Gordon. He has Alfred. These people all tie him back to Bruce Wayne. Even if obviously he's like Batman around Jim Gordon, it ties him back to his humanity.
Yeah, Bruce tries to walk away, and they just keep pulling him back in. They're like, no, you're not doing this alone, man. Like, and like, the humanity is still very much within this version of Bruce, and I'm really excited to see how it manifests, like, in the next movie, because obviously at the end of the movie the bombs go off, the city's flooded. What can Bruce do, not only as Batman, but what can he do as Bruce? And that's something that it seems that Matt Reeves is really interested in.
Yeah.
So, because like they're gonna do a version of No Man's Land, but like I don't think they're gonna do like a direct adaptation. I'm just really excited to see, like, you have this billionaire who also fights crime, what can you do with the billions, and what kind of villains are gonna pop right out during this crazy mad time? Obviously, we've got Riddler in Arkham, Joker's in Arkham, Penguin
Joker
is...
has 2 paper clips, so he's the greatest villain in Gotham's history.
Yeah, I would love to see what he could do with a paperclip. We
Me too.
saw what Heath Ledger could do with a pencil. So
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see.
I
Me and Jason had a conversation about the pencil trick last night. Ironically enough.
We did.
So, and our boss who was quitting just looked at us like we had like 2 heads. Like, right? Am I right?
You are.
It's too good. It's too good. We're just like the 2 nerds at the theater, and we just get in these passionate conversations about any comic book property that's available. I think we're going to see Morbius in a few days.
God damn it, dude! Don't fund that fucking movie.
I need to see it, man.
The last thing I'll say, because I gotta go in a sec.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to remember now. Fuck. Give me a sec. I need like 30 seconds. God. It was really intelligent. It was really smart. Probably pretty funny. I'm a funny guy, you know.
I know.
Fuck. Fuck. It's gone, gentlemen.
It's gone.
It's gone. Well,
It's
it's been an absolute pleasure. I like
Yeah.
the Batman for maybe 5 minutes, and then how do we make fun of other random dog shit?
We played a game of like ring around the references, pretty much.
Pretty much, man.
All right, I have one final question for Levi before it.
Got it.
Okay. All right. What would you rate the Batman?
Oh, 10. It's my favorite comic book movie. Out of 5.
Oh, damn.
Why 5?
I was gonna say 5. Out
Five.
of 5 bats, but
5
we can go to
bats.
10.
6 bats.
We're going back to 10. Going back to
6
10.
out of 5.
No point. There's no.
Fine. 11 out of 10.
You already made.
Well,
Fine.
it's
12 out of 10.
10 bats for sure. It's easily my favorite
10
comic
bats.
movie, and it's probably my top 5 favorite films. So
There you fucking go.
Something. Okay, we can't get copyrighted. Well, actually, copyrighted. Whatever. Yeah. Thank you for joining us, Levi. And he leaves.
I need to bounce
Levi
too
for nothing.
shortly. I gotta bounce shortly.
God.
So
Okay.
let's sum up.
Let's wrap it up because I want to ask Jason some questions as well. I want to ask Jason, first of all, the same thing. What would you rate this movie out of either 5 bats or 10 bats? However many bats you wanna rank.
Getting all the bats.
Get
5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. I've waited my entire life for this movie.
And you know what? I actually believe you because, ironically enough, Jason is named after Jason Todd. He is. See that? I don't know if you know who that is, Luke.
Oh, I do.
But I think you do. And so, one final question, Jason. Well, actually, I've got a few. I'm not letting you go. I'm clingy. All right.
Dang it, Tom! I don't have time.
Yeah, I don't care about you. All right, I don't care about Jason. No, I'm kidding. Where does Pattinson rank as your favorite Batman, and like where does Kravitz rank as your favorite Catwoman?
They're my favorite for both for live action. Oh my god, I forgot his name from Batman the Animated Series.
Oh, Kevin Conroy.
Kevin Conroy is always gonna be my my favorite Batman.
Yeah, he's just like the default.
Action.
Yep.
Yeah. And I mean, I think Zoe Kravitz just completely owned Catwoman and made her her own. Like, I can't think of anyone else who did it as well.
She really did feel like Catwoman to me. Like this is, and she's like kind of like a prototype Catwoman. She's not fully formed. I don't know if anyone else noticed. You guys definitely did the Bloodhaven reference. I mean, Nightwing baby, which leads to my next question: should this version of Batman get a Robin, Jason?
Absolutely.
See, him and me always on the same page. Always.
I think he should be like 17 or 18. I think it would be weird for this universe if he was like a little kid.
He can't be 8. He can't be. Yeah. But like, yeah,
But,
make him a high school kid, kind of like Tom Holland him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
He would unironically be a good Robin because of what he does athletically. But we are not going to cast Spider-Man as Robin. That's kind of a downgrade for Spider-Man. So, but yeah, I agree. And I think like this version of Bruce having to become a dad after trying to not be a human being for years, is just such an interesting concept, and like being thrust into that role the same way that Alfred was when, because like this version of Alfred literally does not know how to be a dad. Like he openly admitted it. Like he's like, you needed a father. It's like the same situation happening to Bruce, where it's like, I don't know if I could be this kid's dad, but like I'm the only one that understands exactly what he's going through because Dick obviously witnesses the murder of his parents as well. So bang, that's that's all I got. Do you have any questions for Jason, Luke?
I think you summed it up really well, honestly. Jason, I think you did a great job answering all those. Thank you for coming on, brother.
Yes. Jason, do you have anything to plug? Do you do anything? Like I have.
I have a letterbox.
Follow his letterbox. What's the username? It's like J Peters, right?
My name, like that you see is J Peters, but the way you find me is Europe of the Moon, all one word.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I will put that in the description as well.
It's a profile picture of Martin Scorsese sleeping during an Eminem performance.
Nice.
Easy to find.
So, Jason, I want to thank you for coming on. This was a very fun episode to do. Obviously, you know, we segued into various conversations between previous Batman franchises, the MCU, but I think overall we got into it. The last thing I have to ask, and then we can end this episode, is what do you think? What do you think about Joker? Well, Barry Keoghan's Joker.
Phenomenal.
I talked about this before with you, Tom, but I want them to have like a Hannibal Lecter kind of.
It really did have the Hannibal.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Bro, the scene, the idea that Batman would go to the Joker to ask about another serial killer is such a cool idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, cause yeah, and and the last thing I have to say is I love the idea that Joker was the first person that Batman had to face.
Yep.
Because usually traditionally he comes in about year 2, year 3. Like
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
Arkham games, he comes in the end of year 2. In Batman, the after year 1, Joker, like at the end of year 1, Joker's card is revealed or something like that. I forgot the absolute ending of that book, but yeah, the Joker was teased, and so that by that you can reasonably assume that Joker appears in year 2. So like, I like that year 1 idea, and like, I'm excited for that Arkham show and all the spin-offs. The future of this franchise has never been. A Catwoman series seems to be a possibility as well. I
really hope so. I really do.
Yeah, see,
It'll happen. I bet. I'd bet money on it.
Yeah, I'm so happy. I give it a 5 out of 5 as well. Like, this is the Batman movie I've been waiting for. We got the action. We got great casting. Just a director with such clear vision. This was awesome.
Yeah, no, this movie was a straight 5. Yeah.
So, Luke, what would you rate it to finish this off?
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, whatever a perfect score is. I mean, this movie did, I think, everything it needed to do as the first movie of this trilogy. I really, when I look at it under those lens, I really don't have any complaints. Like you said, the action was good, the atmosphere was good, the fucking casting on everybody was fucking perfect, quite literally. I mean, it's so hard to find things to complain about. I mean, I think it's the best filmed comic book movie I've ever seen in terms of cinematography, I think. And I think it's the best one I've seen in the best movie cinematography I've seen in years as a whole. I mean, I think it's that good with the way they filmed it.
Dune was pretty great as well, but yeah.
Wait, what'd you say?
Same guy,
Dune. Yes, same guy.
Same guy, Greg Fraser.
No, Greg
So-
Fraser is fucking phenomenal.
What a legend! They need to get him back, and he is
They will.
revolutionizing
They
cinema
will.
with
Yeah.
the stagecraft technology. Jason, I don't know if you know about that, but it's basically
Yes, I do.
it's replacing green screen. It is incredible, and that is the future of
It's so
cinema.
much better than screen.
It's gonna be so much easier for the actors to give
Yeah.
a good performance.
Yeah.
Technology is great. But yeah, I'll leave it at that. Luke, if you want to wrap it up, you usually wrap it up because
Yeah,
I'm bad at
sure.
words.
It's okay. But seriously, Jason, thank you again for coming on. Tom, pleasure as always. And yes, we'll definitely have you on again. And yeah.
And Levi,
Yeah,
he'll
Levi.
watch this again.
Levi
For
will see
coming on,
this.
Levi.
Seriously though, great job by everyone here. I'm looking forward to talking again. I'm not sure when our next episode will be, but it'll probably be for Moon Knight episode 1. If I were to guess, we'll probably do a review on that, assuming we can find a day, and we'll get into all the ins and outs in that and see if it's dog shit like Levi expects it might be, or if it's gonna be really good. We're gonna find out. But until then, it's been another episode of Cape Time. See you, everybody.
Peace.